Hey guys, Fog City Tactical back here with a Marlin 795. I'm going to attempt to do a trigger job. This is part 1, and this is a stock gun. It's got about, I'd say about 500 rounds to it, so it's just being broken in. And I got a trigger scale here that I did a quick review on earlier, and I want to see where this is at. I took this out the other day, and I shot from 10 o'clock in the morning to must have been almost 4 o'clock that afternoon. And I just had a ball with this. But by the end of the day, and trying to keep this thing accurate, and I'm pulling the trigger, man, it just felt like it was like 12 pounds or something. It was so freaking stiff that I decided to do something about it. Went online, and there's a bunch of mods that we can do to this. There's not like a drop-in trigger group for this, but there's some modifications that people have done to this gun. So let's go ahead and well, let's actually first do a safety check. So let's drop the magazine. Magazine is removed. There is not anything in this at all. Empty. Let's open the slide and lock it open. Inside, if I can get some light, I could see, and if you can as well, but there's the chamber, and there is not a round in there. So let's put this back down and drop the slide gently. And this gun has a magazine disconnect, so this has to be inside the gun in order for it to fire. So that will be something I will actually remove as well down the line. So gun is unloaded. It's aimed in a safe direction. No one else is in this room, or actually in the house at all. And let's do some stock measurements. So I'm really interested to see where this is going to end up as, because this thing just feels like a tank to pull. So anyhow, let's go and pull this through. We're at 3 pounds, 3.5, 4 pounds, 4.5, 4 3/4, 5, just over 5 pounds. So let's try that again. We're going to do this to get an average. Let's rock the slide, charge the handle, lower it back down. Again, unloaded weapon, and it's pointed in a safe direction, and no one's in the room. Let's slide this across. Let's see if we get that nice and frame. Let's see if we can get this with my hands in the way. So we got 3 pounds, 3.5, I'm at 4, 4.5, 4 3/4, 5 pounds. Okay, so that was pretty close to last time. Okay, let's go ahead and drop this. Charge the handle again. Alrighty. And let's pull this across. So maybe we can do this even closer so everybody can see. We're upside down, but let's see if we can look at this. That was 4.5, but I think it's because I must have jerked it somehow. Let's try it again, because that was 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 4.5. Let's leave the gun where it is. I must have jerked it. Let's get this back in frame and get that on the trigger. Reset that and pull this across. We got 3 pounds, 3.5. We got 4, 4.5, 4 3/4, 3/4, 5. So it's a 5-pound trigger. Well, I thought it was a lot heavier than 5 pounds. I thought for sure it's heavier than that. That just felt like a tank, like at the end of the day. So I'd like to get this down to, I would say 2.5 to 3 pounds. That would be sweet. I can probably drop a bullet wherever I'd like at this point. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and modify this. This is part 1. I'm going to try to get a hold of a DIP, trigger guard and trigger. That's supposed to help get rid of the take up and I guess over travel. There is a spring on the trigger, and I understand that if you take a spring out of the 3.5-inch disc floppy drive, that you could modify, put it in here, and that'll drop some weight. We can reshape the sear, and probably go in here and polish this bolt up and just make things really smooth. I'm going to get rid of the magazine disconnect, which I think is pretty simple to do, and I'll do a review, do a tutorial on how to do that as well down the road. You might ask, what's on top of here? This is actually a Nikon. It's a scope. It just came out. It's a rimfire. It's got a BDC. It's a Pro Staff scope. So That's really cool. I'll do that separately, though. Let's do these separate. So, again, part 1, stay tuned and subscribe as we modify this rig. Take care.